With L'Oreal and Kyle said, Tillian, and we tell y'all all the time, man, we love when guests slide through on the show and hang out with us. These guys are no strangers, man. They're no strangers to the morning hustle, and they're no strangers to getting money.
They sure ain't.
Representing from Earn Your Leisure, Rashad Bilal and Troy Millings in the studio once again.
What's up?
Yes. How y'all feeling?
We back. The bell is ringing. We feeling good.
We had to sit you over there so you ain't trying to reach over and hit
This is true. We changed seats this time.
For sure. Now, you guys are out doing your thing. You're making a lot of noise continuously, but we know that you guys are warming up and getting ready for Invest Fest 2024, man.
Yeah. That time of year.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming along bigger and better than ever.
For sure. This is going to be one for the books, for sure. We got so much planned. Outside of a great lineup, we got a lot of great initiatives, give back, crowd participation. So this one is really going to be exciting.
And when we saw y'all last time you came up here, you couldn't tell us who the special guest was, but now we done found out it's 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson.
It's exciting.
Yes, shout out to 50.
Yeah, shout out to 50. Shout out to everything he's done in music, but more importantly, we watching the footsteps of what he's doing in business, which he hasn't been able to highlight at this level and in front of an audience. And so we're excited about it. This opportunity doesn't come along every day. So, we're going to make sure that we take the right approach and make sure everybody gets the knowledge that they need from it.
I see what y'all doing, though. Y'all not slick. Y'all getting all the black men with the studios. And you had Tyler Perry. Now you got the G-Unit studio. I know what y'all doing.
Well, if he's learning from Tyler, then we need to get to learn from both of them, right?
I know that's right.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel, man. We just learn who has the wheel and create our own.
For sure. So 50 coming and being a keynote speaker, and you guys are also having a pitch competition for a $100K business grant.
Like a Shark Tank kind of vibe?
That's exactly what it is. So,
okay.
In the name of Nipsey Hussle, it's the Nipsey Hussle Business Invest Fest Business Grant, $100,000. We did it with Marathon and Microsoft.
That's fine.
And so the judges is going to be myself and Troy, and then his brother, Black Sam. Shout out to Sam.
Yeah.
And JP, that was his partner with Marathon as well. So it's a collaboration between Earn Your Leisure and Marathon. I think it's just really dope. A dope way to honor the legacy of the late, great Nipsey Hussle. That was somebody that was a very big inspiration for us, and somebody that always talked about entrepreneurship. He always talked about being independent and, cutting the middleman out. So we thought that would be a great way to kind of honor his legacy. So that's going to be dope. There's still room to enter. Anybody can enter.
I was going to ask, how do y'all pitch that out? How would they be able to do that? Because you don't want just anybody up on that stage. You want to make your time worth it.
Anybody can enter. So what we're going to do is, if you have a ticket to Invest Fest, you can enter. It's a submission that you do online. Then we're going to pick 100 people.
Okay.
And then on the first day of Invest Fest, which is Friday, August 23rd, those 100 people audition, right? And it's like a minute audition. We break it into 4 rooms. And then the judges are going to pick winners in each room. So 4 people will advance to the second round.
I love that.
On Saturday. And then Saturday is when we're going to be the judges. And then out of those 4, we're going to pick the one. Those 4 is going to be live on stage in front of everybody. So
the big show.
By the time you get to the 4, those people is going to be very, very highly qualified and dope. But everybody has a chance to enter. And 100 people is still a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
It's not like you don't have any chance of winning. you definitely have a chance of pitching on Friday. And then if your pitch is good enough on Friday, you can advance to Saturday. But even if you don't advance to Saturday, the judges that are going to be judging on Friday are highly qualified people, right? So they might like your idea. They might want to invest in your business. Everybody can't advance, but they're like, all right, you might not be my first choice, but I like your idea. Let's build. Let's build offline. Let's see if I can help.
I love that.
I love that.
Have you ever been through that where maybe somebody pitched out an idea and you was like, I can't really do it, and then it ended up actually working?
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, we get pitched ideas all the time, but usually it's somebody's doing it in passing. We have a pitch competition right now that we're doing with United Masters. So that's interesting. So we're hearing a lot of ideas. People, they actually vet it and give us companies. And some of them, we've actually talked to the people after, this is a great idea. Here's how you can improve on it. Let's see what you can do with it, because this might be something that we might be interested in.
What makes a good pitch? I know a lot of people, sometimes I feel like, because I watch Shark Tank and all that too, right? So sometimes I feel like people might have a good idea, but if their presentation isn't good, they lose out.
Right.
So what makes a good pitch?
Yeah, I always talk to the people about being concise and being like very, very understanding of your business. Like nobody should know your business like you, right? So the leadership is important. I think scalability is super important, especially what we're looking for inside the space, right? We've seen businesses, mom and pop shops, we've seen hair salon, but we want to have scalable businesses, especially inside the world of tech. And so those are some of the things, especially at this pitch competition, that we're looking for. And then we want to make sure that, you know, it's something that you believe in. Right, because a lot of times people won't even enter because they don't believe in their business, right? So I got two on that. Okay. Yeah, you know, like you already know what you have, and it's a gift, right? But you want the world to know it. So if you can relay that message to us, relay it to the crowd, then I mean, you're in a good spot.
Don't just come in here talking about I do hair with
Right.
a phone.
Yeah.
Right. How we gonna invest in that? Right.
Whose hair you been doing? My sister's.
I love it. Not only do you guys have the Nipsey Hussle business grant, you guys have the HBCU student scholarship. Talk about that, man. I really believe in that. I went to an HBCU, so I love to see that on the lineup. Like, what does that entail? How you guys putting that together?
Yeah, it was something that we did. We did at the beginning of Invest Fest, where we opened the window. I think it's still open. If you go to an HBCU, I think we had 100 scholarships. Is there still more? It's over? Yeah, so we gave 100 free scholarships to HBCU students, first come, first serve. And it's dope because I feel like, you know, to have young people in the building, they might not be in a position where they can actually implement some of the information because, you know, they don't have a job yet, they don't have a career yet, but they're going to be well prepared, and the relationships that they make, right? Like that's the biggest thing. So now they get to meet people, and hopefully they can stay in touch with them. So now if they're a junior, if they're a senior, if they're a sophomore, you know, by the time that they are ready to go into the real world, they'll have resources and information that will, you know, definitely put them above other people that are just starting from scratch.
And InvestFest is turning into something that is so huge, like a really big festival kind of situation that we haven't really seen before. We've seen people try to do it like y'all, but this has been very consistent. Has it been overwhelming for you guys, or is this point in the year where you kind of feel like, all right, we kind of got it down packed? This is, what is this, year 4?
This is year 4.
Year
Yeah.
4. Year 4. Is it a little easier now, or because you're adding so much more things? Is it just like more ways to play with it?
I think that's a challenge, right? Like every year we want to improve and we want to make the user experience better, right? So people like, yo, you had 20,000 people last year, and that's great. Let's do 40,000.
Yeah. And
it was more of a, well, we have 20,000 people who have come. Let's make sure that their experiences are better than the ones that they had last year. So let's improve on a couple of things. Let's improve on logistics. Let's improve on the sound. Let's improve on the impact. Let's give back. So I know we talked about the $100,000 grant, but we're also giving $25,000 away to a woman-led business in health and wellness. Right, so we would. I need a like 4. That's there we go. So I mean, we were fortunate enough to connect with our brothers from Healthy MD and Lauren London, who's a part of that. She was passionate about helping in that industry, and something that she's really, she's been working on, especially with her Puma initiative and everything inside of that. So, I mean, the impact was great, and the challenge is like after you finish year 3. It's like, all right, we got to prepare for year 4. So
Immediately.
It's like 1 week.
Crazy.
And then you start hearing the feedback. All right, this is what we can improve on. All in September. October, it's time, like, who's going to be, the target for InvestFest. And now let's work out the logistics. So at this point, we're 30 days away. It's like, all right, finish line is coming. Yeah, but we've been working on it for like 11 months.
And you're registering people to vote, too, there, right?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Because I know y'all are for a community, so I know that has to be a little part of it. Because when it comes into politics, you think about taxes, and that's finances. And I know a lot of people have questions when it comes to that with y'all.
Yeah, I will say this, that Georgia is an important state. Atlanta is an important city. Fulton County is an important county. And, we obviously have a national election that is coming up. So we want to encourage people to vote, but we want them to get educated in the world of politics too, right? Rather than just blindly voting. You really find out what the issues are, find out who has your best interest, and make a decision.
For sure.
And then they could go to that dinner we all heard about. So y'all been very super viral, okay? Y'all been very viral lately. Joe Budden spilled the tea.
So you've heard.
And talked about, tell us more about this dinner. We want to hear, tell us how the dinner and chat.
Joe, shout out to Joe, man. You know, it's one of these things. You got to curate. You know, different type of environments for different type of people. So we have, you know, the vibes is extremely important during Invest Fest week, and it's become like a holiday out here in Atlanta. So you know, there's different elements that take place over the course of the weekend.
Did you mean for that dinner to become so public? No.
I'm not sure what you speak of. I'm not sure what you speak of.
I can't wait to hear more about this dinner chat.
Yeah, more info coming.
Everything is earned, even including leisure. So, you know.
Let me ask you this before we get too far away from the voting and the election stuff, right? We're always led to believe, and, you know, I want to know what you guys think is more true than not, that, you know, maybe the Republican Party is better for business, where the Democratic Party might be better for, you know, supporting people. You know what I mean? When it comes to business, you guys are so financially invested in business and other people. Do you feel like one is better than the other?
I think there's different advantages for each situation. I feel like Democrats usually traditionally have been better for the stock market. Republicans definitely have less regulations. So if you're a business owner, that definitely could be beneficial for you for sure. Like, you know, Georgia is a Republican state, so it's easier to get a lot of stuff done here than it is in New York, because it's highly regulated in New York and a lot of red tape and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't necessarily want to say one party is better than the other. I really think that it depends on, you know, the administration, whether it's local administration or national administration, what their initiatives are, what they want to push. But ultimately, the money, you know, the powers that be, they back both Democrats and Republicans, so they're not really going disrupt the money too much. It's just certain things, like, you know, Democrats, they're going to try to tax rich people, but there's always going to be even loopholes around that, right? With Republicans, they'll just openly say that they want to cut taxes, they want to keep taxes lower. So it really just depends, but there's definitely some benefits, I think, on both sides, just kind of depending on how you look at it.
It sounds like different roads to the same destination.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I recently saw that CNN did a poll, and they said 40% of U.S. adults are worried about their family's income, that it won't cover their expenses. Right now, what's some advice that y'all might have for a family that's cutting it very close? You know, maybe they have just enough to get by, but they're still trying to save or figure some stuff out, because in December 2021, it was at 28%. So it's obviously rising. So is there any advice that you guys could give to a family like that?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't have enough money at the end of the month, there's only a few things that you can really do, right? You can cut back on your expenses, like, you know, try to find a way to spend less money, right? Whether that's not going out, whether that's, you know, packing your lunch, whether that's carpooling, different things like that, right? That's important, because even a couple $100 a month can go a long way.
Right.
And then there's also, you know, you can try to find ways to make more money, right? That's a lot of stuff that we talk about as far as entrepreneurship. Even if you work a full-time job, maybe you have, you know, entrepreneurship journey on the side, right? Instead of calling it a side hustle, like maybe you just starting your entrepreneurship journey, and that's something that could benefit you. Maybe you go back to school and try to get a more advanced degrees that you can potentially earn more money on. Different things like that. But in the best case scenario, it's a combination of both, where you find ways to make more money and while cutting on your expenses as well. Now you have what's called more discretionary income, which is more money left over at the end of the month, as far as the amount of money that you pay your bills and the amount of money that's left. Then that money you should invest. That's very important, right? So now you invest the money every month, you put into the stock market, index funds, stuff that we talk about a lot, like on Market Monday, stuff like that. So you can't invest money if you don't have money. So that's really what it comes down to, right? How can you save money? How can you cut back on your expenses, and how can you earn more money? And then best case scenario, like I said, how can you do both? How can you find a way to earn more money while still living below your means and not using the money that you get as a voucher just to spend it and you know, living recklessly?
Because they used to be like, cook at home, and that'll save some money, but that damn grocery store is the same damn price at this point now.
Facts.
It's expensive.
I know a lot of people hear us doing interviews with people like yourselves, and they're on that verge of trying to figure out how to get started in business or investments, right? I'm curious as to, for both of you guys individually, like, what was your first business and what was your first investment?
Oh, man. Our first business, I think we had come together, I think, like shortly after I graduated college, and we were trying to figure out how to begin our entrepreneurial journey. And at the time, a couple of us we created a real estate investment, like almost like club. or firm where we were going to pool our money together and then figure out properties to buy. Wasn't something that we were super passionate about at the time. I think I was like 23 years old, 24. But at least at that point, we were thinking about those type of things. And I think we got one property, and then we became landlords really quickly. And it was like, what? Wait, what? You broke what? Nah, man, we ain't doing this. And I mean, we made a little bit of profit on it and didn't get back into it. So that kind of failed, but it at least sparked the idea, like, this is what entrepreneurship looks like. At the time, I think I was like a hall monitor. I didn't even start teaching yet. So we started that business, and obviously it kind of
sometimes you need to fail and stumble in order to figure it out.
Well, you learn from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always talked about that. Like, it's never a failed mission. It's a one that we learned on, right?
Do you take L's even at this level in your business? What's your most recent L?
Most recent L in business. We tried a logistics company, trucking, which is tough, right? When we did an episode about it, it was like, all right, this sounds like something that we could actually do. And we did it for about a year and a half. And then you realize how intensive it is and how much you need to, be on call and how important your drivers are and all the, the things that take to run it. And we're doing so many things at the time. It was like, all right, well, let's put somebody in a place to run this business, right? Let's give somebody else an opportunity. And it kind of didn't work, but that's okay. Like, again, we tried, it didn't work. Here are the lessons we learned from it, right? If you're going to be doing something, especially in business, be passionate about it. Make sure that if you're putting somebody in that position, that they are passionate about it, right? Don't do it as a favor because it's like, yo, that's my boy, and he needs something to do.
They definitely looking at y'all like, oh, no, we finna be like them. Let me take this job.
Yeah. I went to high school with them. Put me on.
Exactly.
Right.
Put them in positions where they're going to be successful.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. Man, well, you guys have been doing a lot and really building up the information and letting people know what's going on. When it comes to InvestFest coming up, we're just weeks away at this point, man. For those people that have not bought a ticket yet, that are still wondering what's happening, man, what would you like to say to those people?
Uh-oh. Give them a pitch.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, give them a pitch to come to InvestFest.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's really an opportunity to change your life, when you can. We have 3 days of programming, right? We have 5 panels about artificial intelligence. That's a major focus this year. We have a home buying workshop. We're gonna have conversations about stock, investing, trucking. Actually, we got a presentation about trucking, so you can actually not do it like us and actually do it the right way. Vending machine. We're gonna have conversations about how to get started in vending machine. I mean, anything that you really think of, credit, taxes, everything, right? And then, of course, the big names, Shannon Sharp and 50 Cent and Stephen A. Smith, Damon John, Lauren London. But then we got a lot of dope entrepreneurs, even locally, like Pinky Cole and Derek Hayes and people like that. And then, of course, the marathon grant that we giving away $100,000. So, I mean, it's just a mix of everything. But
I love it.
The vendor marketplace, over 400 vendors that's going to be there. So, support those businesses, and you're going to get a chance to network and meet people. And I just feel like it's a great way to kind of, kickstart your journey, whether you're trying to figure it out or whether you're trying to go to the next level, because there's always a next level. No matter where you're at in life, there's always a next level that you can go to, and there's billionaires that come to InvestFest. So I feel like, there's no place like it. So if you're serious about making more money and expanding your, relationships and really taking your life to the next level, because even we have stuff on health and wellness, right? Stuff that's not even directly related to finance, but it all relates to it, because, if you're not physically in shape, if you're not mentally in shape, then all the money in the world doesn't matter. So, we got stuff for everybody. So I just feel like this is a great opportunity, especially if you live in Atlanta. If you live in Atlanta, I don't see why you would not go. Like, the risk-reward ratio, the tickets cost $250 for the whole entire weekend. So I feel like you're going to spend that in the club anyway, or a pair of Jordans anyway, right? So it's like the opportunity to be there for 3 days, to get information from over 100 panels, to see over thousands of people, to be in a vendor marketplace, to be inspired, to get. I just don't see how you don't get a return on your investment. So if you're in Atlanta, surrounding areas, definitely. But even if you're not, I think it's worth the trip to Atlanta, because it's just a great, inspiring weekend. So you can go to investfest.com, get your tickets August 23rd to August 25th, and we're going to make history again.
Yeah.
When I think about InvestFest, it kind of makes me think about, I know a lot of people bring back up like Black Wall Street and how we have Black Wall Street. How far do you guys think we're away from having a city that's black run, black owned, black businesses. Do you think that that's coming in the future?
I don't know if it exists in the sense of like we have a place in America, right? But I think it's happening, right? Like the impact that we have. How do you measure it? How do you quantify it? Like it's happening now, right? Like Atlanta, we go to Charlotte, people are like, yo, the information is crazy. Look at my savings account. Look what I've done inside the stock market. You go to Chicago, same thing. Every time we go somewhere, it's happening, right? You can feel this financial revolution happening. So it's pretty encouraging when you think about it. Like this class of people, especially that look like us, and now getting information that's changing their lives. And in terms of Black Wall Street, it's interesting. We were having this conversation yesterday. Inside of it, InvestFest is our marketplace with over 400 businesses. And so I'm like, what was that experience like for you? He was like, it felt like I was in Black Wall Street. It felt like I was in the Harlem Renaissance in the 40s, and I'm walking around looking at businesses that are people like us, and it's not just the same businesses, right? And I get an opportunity to meet these people, talk to them, get ideas, and the networking part is important. But I know people think networking across, and that's super important. But there's also going to be networking up too, right? When we talk about investing and we talk about the companies that we invest in, when Meta, NVIDIA, Microsoft, their execs are there,
right?
And they're looking for the talent. And so this is how Wall Street gets created. I don't know if it's a physical place. I think it's a place.
More of a community.
It's a community, and that's what we've been built on.
I love it.
Dope. Well, we encourage everybody to take part in it, and we appreciate y'all coming by, sitting down with us once again to get out the information. Once again, investfest.com, August 23rd through August 25th in Atlanta at the Georgia World Conference Center. Yo, Rashad Bilal, Troy Millings, we appreciate you,
Hold
brothers.
on. What day is the dinner?
Secret location. Invites will be sent.
No doubt, man. Thank y'all for coming through once again. Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate y'all.
We are the morning hustle. We are the morning hustle.